Hi there, I'm Gail Jones. I'm a visual artist and my specialty is ceramic arts and fiber arts. And this mosaic workshop is going to be blending sort of the two of them together because I do a lot of mosaics using the ceramic arts, but today we are going to be doing mosaic using paper, which is a fiber. So one of the things that we did in session one, this is session two now, one of the things that we played around and we created our own paper. We colored our own paper using watercolor paper and rice paper slash tissue paper, a lightweight paper, doing marbleizing on the watercolor and tie-dyeing on the softer, thinner papers. And I have some samples for you from session one. Here is sampling of our tie-dye paper. We folded and put it in a dye bath. And then here is a sampling of the marbleizing of our watercolor paper. And that was really fun. We poured the different acrylic pourable colors in and we shook and rattled, took a toothpick and really got those colors all blended, and they're both a very organic way of creating paper. And it really does make a big difference in the overall composition because these become very personal. It has your essence, it has your energy, and it does pick up. I know some people are like rolling their eyes, it has their energy, but it does. Now, in session two, what we're going to do, we're going to start building. Now that we have our creative paper to choose from, and we also going to use some other different types of paper, I'm going to take you through two very easy types of mosaics. A geometric mosaic, paper mosaic, a mandala, using geometric shapes and using color to play with. And for those who are a little bit more confident in their drawing ability and they have a motif in their hearts and their minds that they want to play around with, we are going to do the motif. Just like when I'm on site doing a workshop with people, I like to just ask some personal questions to get their imaginations rolling. And one of those is, we're getting ready to enter into summer. We've had a very interesting spring. We're not even going to talk about the pandemic, but we've had an interesting spring with the weather. It's been kind of cool, a little rainy. Now, especially where I live, everything is very lush, and we're getting ready to enter into summer. Think about what are your favorite summer activities? Is it gardening? Is it picnicking? Is it being with family? Is it vacationing, going to another region that you don't live in? I live in the mountains, and we love to take our little hippie camper and go to the shore and be by the ocean. Oh, that's such a fun thing. I love to come back home to the mountains. And I know there's tons of people because our population increases, probably a couple thousand during the 6 months period. And we get people who leave the shore area, leave the suburban areas, and come up here to the mountains to take their vacation. So get those ideas rolling. If you're stuck for what kind of motif, what kind of design, sailboats work wonderfully. Again, if you're a little stronger, feel confident with your drawing skills, let those thoughts of summertime fun just get your imaginations going. But while you're getting your imaginations going, those of you who are very capable or not insecure about your drawing ability, we're going to talk now, and I'm going to take you through working with some geometrics. Again, I love mat board. Oh, if you have a framer close by, feel free to go in and ask how much they would charge you for their scraps. And they're wonderful because they're colored. And that color pops through because in a paper mosaic, we're not going to be grouting like we normally do in a hard stuff type mosaic. So I have my mat board here, and I have my basic geometric shape. I like circles. Circles are just a wonderful symbol that I use a lot in my art. They symbolize wholeness for me. And so I'm going to take my circle and I'm going to put it on my mat board. It doesn't have to be exacto center, but I'm going to put there. Trace around there. You see that. Then I'm going to get a straight edge. You have a ruler, anything that's going to be able to stay straight. And I'm just going to make some cross lines here. That helps me with placement. You won't necessarily see it when the mosaic is all complete, but it'll help, especially with the geometric. Symmetry is very, very important. So I have my shape. Now, in our sample, my tessera, the small bits, I got completely out of advertisements from the newspaper, from the circular that comes, whether we want it or not, in our mailbox. And I just wanted to let you know that, so just in case you're not able to get out and to get some of the supplies that are on the material list in session 1, and it will also be on session 2, we'll just keep that material list rolling there, that you can use newspaper. And they have, with different advertisements, you see different pages that do have color on it. So what I'm going to do, I want triangles on here, there. See how we have them here? And so I take my little cardstock that is also recycled paper, and I'm going to cut out a triangle. Take it to there. I need to see, as you see, I don't measure exacto. Some people do, and that's quite all right. I need to reduce that down a little bit more. So I have my template here, my stencil, my guide. And I like this marigoldish kind of color. And I'm going to cut it out of that newspaper. And as you see here, I've done it several times because I have 8 points. Now I'm going to get my glue. I love the tacky glue. You can use Elmer's glue. It just takes a little longer to dry. But this tacky glue dries pretty quickly in my skewer or toothpick. And now I'm just going to add some glue, pretty much to 3 corners, close by the tip because I don't want the tip wagging. And I'm going to adhere down on my guidelines, my triangles. My personal mosaic building, I really like using whole pieces for my focal point. I love the whole, again, back to symbolism. I like the idea of them being whole, being complete, but in the midst of broken pieces, ripped pieces in paper, broken pieces in hard stuff. And what that symbolizes, that we can become whole even though we're surrounded by all kinds of brokenness or been through some type of brokenness. So even in this geometric mosaic, not using a motif, but just basic geometric shapes, triangle, circle, I want to use whole pieces to show that. Now, if you like ripping up, you can make your triangles out of little bits, and you'll be seeing that later in session 3 and 4. But right now, I am showing you some of the techniques that I've hold on to as a mosaic artist. So I have all my triangles down. Next, I do want another bit of wholeness in our geometric, and we have our circle here, so I'm just going to take the same shape and put it on our homemade rice paper, tie-dyed rice paper. Look and see, move this out the way so you can see it better. Check out where you're going to be landing it to make sure you're getting your colors right, and trace, because we're going to trace and we're going to cut. There we go. And voila, pre-cut there. How nice does that fit? And I made sure when I cut that I did not have any of the pen line showing. I made sure that that was cut out. And now I'm going to need a little bit more glue because the tacky glue does get a skin on it very quickly. Just add another dollop, just a dollop at a time. Waste not, want not. An artist must be careful with all their supplies and strategically place your dollops of glue so that there shouldn't be any flapping and it's adhered nicely. You don't have to do the whole surface area, but a dab-a-do here and there. Make a pattern out of your glue dots. And then now we want to adhere it inside of our lines. See some shapes starting to take place. Now, I'm going to put this to the side. Time, time, time. Always focus on time. And now I'm going to bring out, if you're going to be doing more of a creative, personal motif design. My personal motif is going to be my dragonfly. You can see I have very simplistic wing shapes, nothing fancy, Not saying anything's wrong with fancy, but I just wanted a very simplistic, almost primitive type of feel for this mosaic. And so what I did is I took the paper that we marbleized, and that's what I'm cutting the wings out of. So I get my pencil, and I'm drawing on the opposite side because my wing shape is symmetrical. So what's going to be on one side is going to be on the other. If you're using a motif that's not so the case, you might want to draw your design on maybe copy paper, then take the copy paper and lay it on top of your colored paper of choice. If you have carbon paper, that would work wonderful. Not very many people have that, and I think I'm dating myself by even saying the word carbon paper. But you still can get it at Staples, or you can use a ballpoint pen and bear down hard and trace your design on the front of your colored paper. And then you have your cutting lines that you can cut out. But because I'm doing something that's symmetrical, I can just turn it over and use the white side of the paper. So I'm looking and seeing, I love what's going on in this area here. So that's the area I want to. So I'm drawing a line so I know this is the area I want to use. I want to do my line in. And I'm going to do a crossbar so that I can stay on point. And now I'm just going to, my dragonflies are basically 4 elongated ovals. So I'm just going to draw some elongated ovals that connect in the center. And since this isn't going to be seen, I don't have to worry about erasing, or I don't have to worry about people seeing it. And now I'm going to start, and I'm just going to cut it out. And as you see, following my lines and cutting out. And just like with our geometric, I used my points and I secured them down. For the tail, and I call it the tail, I don't know if that's the technical term to call the tail of the dragonfly, or the elongated part, or the, I don't know, helicopter part. They remind me of helicopters. But I just, long line, and I'm going to just, again, draw my cutting line lightly. Pretty straightforward. Line it up to see how it looks. Is it the right size? I think it is. And now to adhere it down. Where's my glue? There it is. Push to the side. About 3 dabs on the back will do it. And as you see, the head is round, and here it is, my little wonderful hole puncher. The basic old-fashioned one, nothing fancy, just a round circle. And I used that for my head. Punched it out, and here we go. Yes, I'm an artist. No, I can't draw a round circle by itself. But how many round circle objects do we have around that we can borrow and trace? And voila. So now we have given shape, given some color, nice direction. You see, even in here, there's a little bit of the printing, quite okay. Nice variegation and going on with the newsprint. We have our colored paper that we colored ourselves to begin to lay down our whole pieces for our paper mosaics. In the next session, I'm not going to confuse myself. We are going to focus in on working on our geometric for session 3, and then we're going to be working on our motif for session 4. So hope you enjoyed yourself, and I'm just getting excited about this. I hope you are too.